Welcome back to my channel, everybody. It's Jules Eats Cats, and today we're starting the exciting axolotl project I mentioned in the last video. If you haven't seen it, I will link it at the top. This is the color palette. We've got all the prismarine blocks. We've got the lanterns that I need to get more of, purple glass as well as regular glass for the domes. Then we've got, of course, amethyst and amethyst crystals and shards. Then for the white blocks and the dark blocks, which will be the main color palette as well as the blue and the purple. So there'll be white quartz to go with the calcite. I like the calcite because it's very natural, but then there is no stairs. So I decided to use quartz because naturally you have stairs and slabs and it goes really well. Then we've got the cobbled deep slate, the smooth deep slate, and the polished deep slate. Very nice variety of textures, and also you can make stairs and slabs from those too, so that's very good. I want to mention that we will be building a few different farms in the area around the axolotl enclosure to make the axolotl enclosure more useful. So I decided I'm going to build the pickle farm near it. I'm also going to build a moss farm and a glowberry farm if I can find those. And I found a spider spawner directly underneath the geode, so I'm going to build a tiny spider spawner farm as well, just because I can. So we'll have multiple reasons to go back and visit the shard farm and the pickle farm and the axolotl enclosure. This is going to be a really exciting project, and it's going to have loads of little bits and bobs, little domes, little underwater tunnels, and it's going to be beautiful. So stay tuned for the next parts of this series. Let's just get right into it. I decided to build a glass dome, which is like a quarter dome, but it ended up being more than a quarter dome. So the reason why it's more than a quarter dome is because I cleared out the bottom area of the geode where there was a lot of gravel, and I didn't like it because it's ugly, so I shoveled the heck out of it. So the geode became a lot more exposed, therefore my dome being a lot bigger. So while I shovel sand, let's tell you the plans about how I'm going to construct the dome itself. I like using the hack that I learned from Grian in his first season of Hermitcraft, I believe. When he was building the underwater base, he made the structure out of cobblestone or dirt or anything you've got. Then you cover it with glass so that you've got the exact shape that you want, and then you empty out what you've put inside. You just make a little gap for yourself in the side so you can swim inside, and then destroy the interior that you've blocked in. So that is exactly what I did because I liked the shape of the geode, so I decided to just use that because I'm lazy, and as much practice as I've had building, domes take a lot of practice, and I'm still not very well versed in domes, and I didn't want to overthink it and spend too much time just on the dome because I have a lot of things to build, you know what I mean? So we did exactly that. I wanted it to be one block bigger than the geode, but I wanted it to keep the exact same shape. So what I decided to do was I made one layer of cobblestone and I covered exactly how the geode was formed. While placing the cobblestone, I was wondering where I'm going to put the door so that we can empty out the inside after we've placed the glass. So I thought I would put it on the left because that is toward the village, so that we can make a little tunnel towards something else. And then axolotl enclosure on that side as well. This is just going to be like a window that's going to expose the whole amethyst shard farm, and you're going to be able to see it from the ocean itself, and it's going to look super nice, hopefully. In my mind, it looks nice. I think in RTX, it's going to look good as well. Then we moved along and we placed glass all over the top layer of the cobblestone. Same thing, exactly the same shape as the geode. So that already cuts our work in half because the geode is already dry. All we gotta do is remove the cobblestone. We're not gonna have to deal with any water unless we've missed a block of glass. So after doing the glass layer, we started making the door so that we can enter inside and pickaxe the remaining bit of the interior. So we made the gap we went to create some oak fences because that's what keeps the water from coming inside. If you don't have a door, which I didn't have a door because I didn't want to put an oak door because it's ugly, so I decided to just make oak fences and then make a door later. So I placed 4 oak fences so that the whole thing is covered and there's no water leakage. I walked in, I started mining the inside. I cleared out everything so that I can see what it will look like from the outside, and I decided that I'm going to remove most of the deep slate, the smooth deep slate, and I'm going to cover everything in calcite so that it's a nice white and amethyst palette to start with. Then we'll start adding some deep slate and quartz into it later, as well as the coral and the prismarine. This is how it looks from the inside when the dome is complete, but we haven't done any decorations or anything like that, so of course we need to get that done, as well as making the shard farm a little bit more accessible, because as you can see we haven't farmed any of the shards up at the top. So I was thinking calcite pillars with ladders on them, because I really don't like the look of scaffolding at the moment. I cannot get up there. I need my controller. I actually really don't like keyboard and mouse at the moment. Okay, so I've decorated the dome a tiny bit with amethyst blocks. It looks really good so far. I need to remove some more of the deep slate over there, the smooth deep slate. And then I made a little corridor for the entrance to the axolotl enclosure from the shard farm. So you'll be coming from the shard farm into the water, and then the enclosure will be over here. I already started building like a little terrain for them to hang out in. Do you like? Do you like? I hope you like. This is the outline for the dome for the axolotls. I have to add a lot more plants and a lot more coral, but you can see the 2 domes are really coming together now. It looks really good. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of building the axolotl enclosure and connecting to the shard farm. So now we are prepared to start building the big sphere behind me where the axolotls are going to hang, and we have finished the glass dome for the shard farm and it looks so good. I can see all of it from here. We're gonna make it more accessible so that next time I am really shard rich. I am still kind of rich in shards, clusters, whatever it is, you know. And this little axolotl enclosure cave is coming along beautifully. I already love it. It's got a little bit of glow vine in there. Love it. I need to get rid of the X in the middle because I only used it as a little guide for myself. If you want to check out the same guide I used for my sphere, I will link it at the bottom, and then I'll also pop it on the screen at the moment so you can see the different amounts of blocks you will need for the sphere, or the diameter of the sphere. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, and I will be back very soon with part 2, so stay tuned. See you in the next one.